Running off British Columbia's north coast, hope that Canada's largest private infrastructure project ever is the first step in an energy economy that doesn't rely on the United States.
Canada can be the #1 exporter of LNG to Asia.
I will guarantee decisions on major projects within a maximum of 1 year.
That push, though, is sparking fear. Worries that industry could move too fast, putting the climate and communities at risk.
It's about ensuring that not every company gets a yes.
Earlier this month, the Greek tanker Roxana made its way through the Douglas Channel to Kitimat. People lined up to watch the arrival. Among them,
and let me tell you, it was a big moment for me as a Canadian.
Teresa Waddington, a vice president with LNG Canada.
That carrier represents a huge amount of work and a huge milestone in our project, and it gets us ready for that really the next big milestone, which will be our first export cargo sometime in the middle of 25.
The tanker is delivering liquefied natural gas, or LNG. It will be used to test all the systems at Canada's first ever LNG export terminal.
A generational opportunity, not just for British Columbia, but for all of Canada.
A joint venture of 5 global energy companies, built with the support of successive governments and First Nations. When testing is done, ships will take LNG the other way, exporting Canadian LNG to markets in Asia for the very first time, generating hundreds of millions of dollars every year.
And it is going to diversify Canada's energy export market, allowing us to reach different sales locations for our natural gas. Certainly, Canadian gas offers a whole new opportunity.
Natural gas is a fossil fuel, mostly methane. It's invisible, lighter than air, often extracted through a controversial process called fracking. Water and sand are pushed deep into the earth, breaking up rock, releasing the gas to be transported by pipeline. Terminals like the one at Kitimat take that gas, cool it, and ship it. Burning LNG causes fewer emissions than coal or oil, but it takes a lot of energy to produce.
As big as this terminal is, there are plans to expand. Phase 2 would double the capacity. That's just one of many projects governments and industry want to see built, and fast.
In British Columbia alone, there are at least 5 potential LNG projects at various stages of approval. The Conservatives are all in on LNG.
We have enormous advantages over the Americans, the Qataris, and countless others.
From the Liberals, promises of expansion too.
Projects that diversify our export markets so we rely less on the United States.
Bay Street's excited.
I believe Canada can be the #1 exporter of LNG to Asia.
Just listen to TC Energy CEO Francois Poirier. His company built the pipeline that sends gas to LNG Canada.
Canada is energy rich and has the potential to be an energy superpower.
Okay, let's get as many people in as we can.
There's even buzz about Canadian LNG at the London Stock Exchange in England.
Everybody turn sideways. Got you good?
That's where we met Crystal Smith. She's chief of the Haisla Nation, the nation that partnered with corporations to build that first export terminal in Kitimat.
It was a long process to be able to build that relationship to the point we currently have right now. But we saw an opportunity.
She's speaking on a panel about Cedar LNG, the nation's own project. The floating facility will use gas from the same pipeline as LNG Canada.
We are the largest majority Indigenous owned project of its kind, I believe, in the world.
Smith says the trade war is creating opportunity.
Although it's not a great scenario for Canadians to be experiencing, it is an opportunity for Canadians to realize exactly the wealth that we have in our natural resources and to be able to capitalize on them.
Talking about the project here lets her challenge the idea that Indigenous communities oppose big energy projects.
I think there is a lot of misconception when it comes to any type of industrial project or any type of development where there's Indigenous opposition. Unfortunately, we're all grouped into one perception, which isn't the case.
This is sovereign Wet'suwet'en land. You are trespassing.
This, though, may be what many remember when they think of natural gas projects in Canada. Blockades, arrests.
I can't imagine anywhere else in the world where they built something like this.
All in opposition to this. LNG Canada gets its gas from the Coastal GasLink pipeline, 670 kilometers long. The massive project had the support of elected First Nations leaders, but not the hereditary leadership of the Wet'suwet'en. Its resistance to the pipeline sparked protests across Canada. The RCMP's response prompted international condemnation.
So the Coastal GasLink pipeline, we learned that companies will do whatever it takes. They will bring in militarized police and they will remove Indigenous people from their lands.
Tara Marsden is the sustainability director for the Gitnell Hereditary Chiefs.
Who can we rely on to protect our territories except for ourselves?
She works with a group of young people opposed to a new LNG pipeline in their traditional territory.
And so we put it on this big sign.
They worry the project will harm salmon habitat and accelerate climate change.
In 2025, facing a climate crisis and facing a lot of cumulative impacts from development, it's simply too much of a risk.
They oppose the Prince Rupert gas transmission line. It would run 800 kilometers to a planned terminal on a coastal island. The project has the support of the Nisga'a, a neighboring nation, partnering with American energy company Western LNG.
So this isn't about getting out from under the thumb of the Americans.
She worries about the push to move fast on LNG, concerned that the trade war will sideline environmental concerns.
It's about ensuring that not every company gets a yes, because just because a company wants to do something, it doesn't mean all the communities have to get on board. There are some projects that are sustainable and some projects that aren't.
LNG Canada says it's proud of the efforts it took to make Canada's first export terminal sustainable and accepted by the community.
When you hear that there's this desire to build LNG infrastructure quickly, can you do that quickly at the same time as building those relationships you talk about?
That's a really difficult question to answer, and I'd say that it depends. But just like a relationship, I can't tell you if the right time before you marry someone is 2 years of dating or 2 months of dating.
The accelerated push to export LNG will put communities and the country on a speed date with industry, a relationship that could prove volatile, lucrative, or both.